Here we are. Hey everyone, hello chat. How's everyone doing? Welcome. You see, like, you guys like my new overlays and my little new dress up? It's cold, like 25 degrees outside right now. But guess what? Because I'm cooking, I don't feel all that cold. This is actually the exact apron that I wore at my restaurant. So take a good look. All chic, all black. It's been a while since I wore this. There's still some, actually there's quite a bit of stains right here from me mopping up my fingers and all that crap. Hey, Pancakes, welcome. How are you? Hey guys, before we get started, I just want to say I'm sorry for yesterday's stream. I did not realize until this morning that I went back that the my camera, or rather the camera that you're seeing right now with my face in it, it was not active. I just forgot to turn it on. So that was my bad. Sorry about that. I know. It looks nice. Thank you. The only thing that looks ridiculous on me right now is this wireless cam. Trust me, I tried to have it right here, but every time I move my head, it scrapes across the mic. So I didn't really like doing that. It was either that or me holding onto a mic like this while I cook. So I'd be one-handed. And I didn't want that. So, anyways, how's everything going on with you guys? I know that today is probably the day that most of y'all are going back to school. So, happy school day. Welcome back to school. What can I say? If you're curious on what I'm cooking tonight, I'm going to cook some pho. Or rather, whatchamacallit, just rice noodles with some beef broth. This is my favorite. This is one of my top 10 food of all time. Rice noodle with any sort of broth. It could be chicken, it could be beef, pork, whatever. But it has to be with rice noodles because that's just my absolute favorite. And nothing beats a nice bowl of, noodle soup on a very, very cold winter night, wouldn't you say? Alright. And also I'm making 2 bowls because my mom actually wants some. So be wary of that. So why you see 2 bowls right here. You've been back for a week? Yeah, I know. Is that right? Well, today is the, 7th, I believe? So I'm surprised because Kira came in yesterday and she told me that school has just started for her. I guess it depends on where you live, right? It all depends. Again, very, very simple dish to make. As long as you know how to properly cut vegetables and boil noodles, you should be okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Noodle soup is probably the best way to get vegetables in you. If you don't like eating vegetable, just throw it in a bowl of noodle soup, and that's it. Really, really easy and really, really simple. Put some. You can't exactly go wrong with any sort of vegetables, actually. So I do have some ground pork, so I'm going to use that. There's going to be some ground pork, some onions, some green peas, some tofu, onions, cucumbers on there. And that's pretty much it. All with the help of this little thing. You guys don't see it, it is a pho paste. Pho basically just means, well, I don't know what it means, but it's Vietnamese. I'm not Vietnamese. It's basically just instant artificial beef flavor paste, as the name suggests, but other than the artificial part I don't like, but trust me, a lot of restaurants do actually use this. There's other brands as well, but to me, I like this one. It's not the most, it's not the cheapest, this Dragonfly one, but it is, in terms of flavor, in my opinion, the best. Alright, so anyways, how's it going with you guys? I got 2 onions right here, but that's fine. This one's more for garnishes. Anyways, I was saying, the next game I think I've decided to play on the Saturday is probably February 1st, when Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 arises. I know it's a long while, but I still need a little bit of extra time to recover. It took me, a while to actually start streaming, but I'm still not over, I'm still not past the recent events of the tragedy that has fallen upon my family. That said, though, I do have to tell you guys that, unfortunately, the bad news doesn't stop. because my dog, my other dog. Is that right, Pancake? Well, feel free to stay up as long as you like, but I'm not so sure if watching someone cook delicious food like me is gonna be healthy for you. But maybe maybe it'll be good. If you see me cooking something like this, you'll drool and get hungry. Maybe that'll activate your metabolism. And as long as you don't go into the kitchen and sneak some snacks into you in the middle of the night, maybe it'll help you lose weight. Just saying. I don't know how overweight you are, but I'm pretty overweight as of right now. I know I don't look like it, but I am overweight. Not obese, but I am overweight. Anyways, as for the bad news, I think that my other dog, my older dog, has potential cancer. Like yesterday, we found out that the side of his mouth has a lump that's growing outside of his cheek. Like his cheek was like bulging. So we took a look at it, the inside of his mouth, and it's most likely cancer, oral. It is what it is. But man, I just gotta stay strong for my dog, for everyone's sake. But I guess the good news is that Snow, on the other hand, has not shown any symptoms of being a cancer patient. He's still lazy. He still goes out for a walk, although really, really slow because, he has hip dysplasia. But other than that, he still eats food. He still eats a lot of food. He just drinks a lot of water as of right now. If you don't know what this is ground pork. I'm just gonna put a little bit in here. Hey Shuyan, how are you? Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is you are. Pancake says I've been wanting to try VNs recently, so I might start making one soon. Visual novels, you mean? Don't stop. I mean, do what you guys are probably young. Do what you got to do. If anything, I regret is not doing these things, streaming YouTube earlier in my career. Because I was just too busy having fun, going out and waste money. And now look where I am. It is what it is. Anyways. Let's see. I'm not going to use a spatula. Just going to use a spoon. And it's fine. The visual novels, I don't know if I should call them games. Because to me, they're just storyboards. I mean, I have no rights to not call them games, but it's more of just reading a book. Unless you count reading books as a game, I wouldn't call it, or reading a manga or a comic as a game though. But I've never been a visual novel kind of player. That is, of course, until I played Doki Doki Literature Club. Boy, I did not expect my first visual novel to be horror related. But if I did say on stream that if I ever do decide to maybe venture into the world of video game making or something like that, visual novel is probably the easiest or the simplest to make, simply because there's really no gameplay. It's just click, point and click, really, right? And then just getting through the dialogues, and then the only animation there is just stillboards, right? Just a little bit of change of expression here and there. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's probably a lot simpler than making a full 3D, 2D, sprite pixel kind of game. Or I could be wrong. But there's a reason there's so many. If you're in Japan, there's like so many, and I mean so many visual novel games coming out every single month, or week I should say. Ranging from action to horror to the adult stuff. Pancake says my first week was one about depression and furries, not elaborating. Well, that's where your imagination takes over, right? It's really just about storytelling. Gameplay is hard because in order to tell good stories through both the visuals and the hearing, but also through gameplay, it's hard to find a balance between both of them. Because if you look at it, like, there might be some stories that are very, very good, but gameplay is bad. Well, I don't want to play a very, very bad. I don't want to play a game that is the gameplay is bad, right? Even if the story is interesting. And if it's the other way around, where it's a boring ass story with a great gameplay, I mean, it depends how addicting is the gameplay. If not, if the character pisses me off or it gets boring, I probably just leave. Hey Humvee, welcome. What am I making? Noodle soup. It's cold as hell outside, so I'm making 2 bowls of noodle soup. One for me and one for my mom. This is ground pork. Anyways, welcome. And Shuyan, speaking of visual novels, have you heard of Detroit Became Human? I have. I have not played that game, interestingly enough. Mainly because it reminds me, I thought that was like, that meta died a while back. Because I thought it's like a Telltale game, right? Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, click here, point there. There's that Heavy Rain, that's the game that I was thinking of. It's just making a bunch of decisions, and then it's cinematic. It's kind of like an upgrade from regular visual novel, because when you say visual novel, it's VN, it's usually 2D hand drawings, right? But, you know, Detroit Become Human, it's 3D environment. I don't think you can make a game like that by yourself, because it's a full-on movie experience. One person most likely would not be able to make it. Yeah, agree, Shun. Game is likely at pretty addicting. I'm waiting for the next chapter to drop right now. It's gonna take a long time, but still. Oh, I'm sure it's gonna take a long ass time. I don't doubt it. Simple cooking, guys. That's all I'm doing. Simple cooking. And plus, my mom doesn't like something that is like too, how do I say it, salty. No pepper for this, just a little bit of salt, and I'm good. Alright, that's enough. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? Hopefully. If not, let me know. Just like yesterday when I realized that my camera was not on, yet none of you guys... I know Pancake was here. Why didn't you guys tell me? Instead, just keep making me look like an idiot. Should have just, when the stream started, I was like, hey, where are you? Where did you go? Instead, I had Kira here. I haven't seen her in a long time. You know. And yes, she couldn't see me. Shame. Shame on y'all. No, I'm just kidding. See how easy this Asian type of... This is like Asian style home cooking. Just something very, very simple. One bowl. Easy cleanup. One pan is what I like. And there's still a lot of flavor here. Oh, that's good. That looks delicious already. So after I finish cooking these vegetables, I just basically put the broth on, and that's pretty much it. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't really know how to garnish stuff, but it's simple enough. I'm actually making an effort this tonight just because you guys are watching, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. I just throw this stuff in there. If you're cooking for someone, maybe you can do this, but most of the time, most likely not. Alright, what do I have here? Alright. Some green peas, simple enough. Just heat these baby up and you're good. Because it was funny and I thought it was broken. Ha 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 ha. Is that right? Like I said, you guys, okay, that's pretty much cooked. I wish you guys could learn. If you guys ever make something, feel free to message me. I would love to judge y'all, since y'all been judging me for so long. Alright, come on. Tell me this doesn't look delicious already. This looks wonderful. I pay for this. Alright, and then some corn. There we go. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a friend who actually told me that he actually saw my stream, and he found it quite interesting. He found it actually quite relaxing, guys. Believe it or not, he doesn't watch stream. He's kind of like me. He's a workaholic. But after he found my channel, he's like, well, this is actually quite relaxing, and he put me in this background, is what he said. Just like if you guys are working out, or maybe doing homework or something like that, just put me on as a background, you know? Hey, Wolf, welcome. Can't be here for a while. Your motherboard is bricked. Send it for repairs. Total cost gonna be a few. Jesus. Ouch. How much is that gonna cost? At least a couple $100, right? Well, good luck to you. But thanks. Don't worry about being here. I'm lucky enough if anyone shows me just to watch me cook. All right. So don't worry about it. In fact, I don't want you guys to come here every night, because you guys might get bored of me, you know? That's what I thought. That's why I thought, Humvee. Just put me in the background. And of course, that depends on what I'm playing sometimes. You know, if I'm playing you know, some scary game, it might be a little bit different. Alright, now I'm gonna make the broth. Okay. All the extra flavor, and then I'm gonna put the instant cheap. This is so much better than ramen. You can't judge me for making instant broth, okay? Because we all eat ramen, you know, packaged ramen, the Maruchan, whatever you call it. This is so much better, and it's cheaper. Have you guys seen the the price for ramen lately? Oh! Guys, not for nothing, but my favorite kind of ramen are those chicken brand. I forgot the brand, but it's called Bukan or something like that. Bukake. Bukake. It's a Korean brand. It's, you know, those fire noodle challenges. I've tasted Shin ramen all the way down to like crappy Maruchan ramen, and I believe Koreans make the best instant ramen. I had Chinese, which is Kangsufu, and you got the whole Japanese stuff. But man, Koreans make some fine instant ramen. Now, it's not comparing it to like tonkotsu shab, like those real ramens, but just purely innocent, just pure, you know, ramen, instant ramen. But I say this is only like $4.50, $5, and I can make like 10 bowls of soup with this. Where ramen right now, even the cheaper one, unless you like the really crappy tasting ones, they're like $1 or almost $2 per pack. It's like, dude, I can't really afford that. And in fact, I would say it's almost like $1.50. It's quite a shame. Alright, that's the broth, and then what I was gonna do. I think that's it. Oh yeah, I gotta taste. That's perfect for me, but I know my mom. She does not like it when it's too salty, so I have to add a little bit extra water for her. I already spent 1,000 for power-ups and 40-60. Fudge! Man, you are wealthy. You are serious about this, aren't you? Loaf, welcome. It's been so long, yeah. Pasta, I know. And guess what? I'm making pasta right now. It's rice noodle, but it's pasta nonetheless. What was I gonna do? Oh, right. Scallions. Duh. Where's my goddamn knife? I'm showing everyone that I can actually know how to cook. And this is something y'all can cook at home. Where in the world is my freaking knife? I had it when I was cutting this thing. Where did I put it? Where the hell did it go? It's a freaking knife. There's no way I would lose it. Or I did, but... What the fudge? How the hell did the knife just disappear on me? It's a goddamn knife. Cooking burgers? Damn. Good on you, Shuyan. In a world where you're what, New Zealand or something like that, I don't see too many burger shops. By the way, if you guys live in Asia, this kind of thing is kind of like our fast food. As in, this is our, you know, whatchamacallit, this is like our McDonald's. This is what we eat, okay? This is, you guys in America or whatever, in the West, you got sandwiches, you got maybe burritos. This is for us, or in my region. Ramens, noodles, soups, whatever. Lex, Makeup Hangout, welcome back. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Gang is finally returning. I'm sorry, guys, it's just, you gotta understand, it's been a pretty traumatizing event. Where's my knife? How in the world did I lose that knife? I love that knife. That's a German knife. It's like, I bought it when it was like 90 bucks. I had just used it. What? Did it disappear and went up my ass? There's no... There we go. I was gonna say, there you are. Huh. Sorry about that, guys. I was getting kind of pissed off. I was like, where the hell did my knife go? Alright, 2 more cucumbers right here because I like the visual. And then lastly, we're going to chop the onions. Scallions. Super popular shop on Fergburger, and all the Subway go there, and it's always an hour away. Is that like a fast food kind of burger, or is it like one of the more exotic ones, like, you know, a little bit more on the posh side, like Japanese Wagyu beef or something like that? Just curious. I'll look it up though. Feel free to let me know. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming back. It's good to see ya, and I appreciate all the support and coming back to see me. I hope you guys aren't too bored. I'm still gonna play games. It's just, you guys gotta give me some time, right? I'm still recovering from the loss of my little girl. Oh man, this onion is like super dry. Alright. Ugh. That's a dried scallion. Ugh. Anyways. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Oh, speaking of which, I need to finish my tofu. And then I'm gonna heat this up. I'm gonna heat this up so that it's not dry, so they can soak in all the goodness. Guys, I'm just telling you right now, but fried tofu like this goes extremely well with noodle soup. I probably prefer it over the meat. Just curious. Hey, Wooly, welcome back, man. It's good to see everyone. What am I doing? I'm making, it's a just chatting stream with me cooking. This is probably the stream I'm going to be doing for a little bit, for a while now. You gotta understand, Wooly and Lex, and I'll catch up you guys on it. I don't like talking about it, but I have to explain some explanation to do. Due to a recent, you know, dramatic loss in my family, I decided to do mostly just cooking. So, because it calms me. I currently, in my mental state right now, I don't have much desire to play too many games. Trust me, I tried. The loss was like pretty devastating for me. But at the very least, I can show you guys I know how to cook. And that's it. Noodle soup, fried tofu, some garnishes, and there you go. With my favorite rice noodle. Hey Mom, it's done. There you go. Normally I use a bigger bowl, but they're not exactly in the washer right now. And plus, look at the way I cook. I have some extras left over. This is super healthy. Well, I wouldn't say healthy, but super simple yet delicious. And then this cost me like $2 probably. And then all I have to do is just wash this pan and this cupboard and then the bowls. Super simple. If you guys are in college, make something like this. Well, unless you're in the dorm, then get an induction stovetop, portable ones like me. And then you can make these delicious food. These are so good for you. They're nutritious, easy to make. And if you want to get a girl in your dorm, make something like this. I'll show you. There you go. It's just really, really simple. Noodle, soup, some vegetables, and then that's it. Anyways, yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy my streams a little bit longer. My friend did tell me that he came into my stream. He's not a chatter, by the way, but I know who he is. He said that he liked the putting me in the background and just have me as like ASMR. What do you want to call it? I'm not into those stuff, but it's kind of funny when someone say that. Is that right, Lex? Yeah, no, it's me. I mean, it's still my face, right? It was originally the anime face, or the AI drawing, and then I switched it to a Microsoft Paint drawing, which is really bad, and then I switched to basically me just screaming. That's it. No, it's fine. I don't blame you guys. Could have used a little bit of extra soup, but last time it was too much. This one's a little too little. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the ASMR. There's no way to eat this without slurping, okay? In Asia, if you slurp noodles, it means it's good. Plus, it's healthy. Some frozen green peas, some canned corn, some red onions. You guys can find all of this in your local supermarket. You might have trouble finding ground pork, but, you know, just use beef if you like it. And then, of course, the only reason I have ground pork is because I actually have a meat grinder. Sounds exotic, but it's not. I literally have a commercial grade, not home grade, but commercial grade meat grinder. I can buy like a big chunk of pork, beef, or chicken and just grind it up. So this is a great way to get protein in your system without doing a lot of work. I'm not telling you guys to go buy it. That meat grinder costs a lot of money. It's like $600, okay? I'm not telling you guys to go get that. But I'm just saying, this, if you guys can do this, it'll save you tons of money. Plus, you know, I take this over like McDonald's any day. Pancake is asking, have you ever questioned why one of your most common fans as of now is just someone named Pancakes and showed up randomly one day and never left or not? Maybe I'd question your judgment, Pancake, but I can't read your mind on why you keep watching me. Because believe it or not, you guys mostly came here when I was playing either Undertale or Doki Doki or Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Assuming. But before that, when I still was in my restaurant, I actually started streaming. The first stream I did was actually through Stardew Valley. And that's because my computer, that was the only game that my computer can handle it. Stardew Valley on my Switch, okay? I was streaming through like a 3.5 gigabytes of RAM, like barely audible. I didn't know anything about streaming back then. But again, I said this before, but I started streaming because I needed someone to talk to. During that time, in fact, it was just a little over a year ago. So today is 2025, so 2023, November, middle of November, this is when I started streaming. It started on Twitch and then moved to YouTube and then multi-streaming. But during that time, it was like during the last month and a half when my restaurant was pretty much on the verge of closing. I already knew it. I was like, here's the last rent that I can pay to the owner. I was like, I can't do any more because I just don't have enough money. He's like, okay. So I took whatever money I had and just bought some setup. My mic, not this one, the one I had before, are all the ones that when I first started streaming. And like I said, I just wanted someone to talk to. Or rather, I didn't expect anyone to listen. Because I put Stardew Valley on, not because I wanted to play the game, but because it was like venting. It was like a therapist. I was just, man, this is blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't in a whiny kind of way. I did not whine, because I don't think so. It was more like just getting it out. I was like, man, I put so much work into this. I really, really tried, blah, blah, blah. First day, didn't know what I was doing. And by the way, I didn't show my face back then. And somehow, some way, people thought it was interesting. And then 2 people came in, so and so and so. I was like, okay. I don't think I'll become a big success like XQC, but but the fact that some people came into my stream and just hear me out, it gave me like a bit of a sense of relief. Like I'm not alone, you know. And just when I thought the pain of losing a business is hard, it's not even a month, and the pain of losing a little dog in that way was probably the most stressful and heartbreaking event I've ever gone through. I'd rather go through 10 bankruptcies or even go back and take my college entrance exam, whatever, than have to go through that again, because Ellie, my little dog, did not deserve that. Try to make pizzas from scratch? I would. I really would, but trust me, Lex, if I do that, I'm gonna need a bigger space. I have to use I have to remodel my entire kitchen. If I become a good streamer and have enough income, I'll remodel my mom's kitchen. She agreed to it, and I'll be able to like make pizzas and fresh pastas and whatever. I can do it. But right now, I can't make pasta with this amount of space. Banana, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Oh yeah, see how much I changed, Pancake? I changed a lot. And is that right, Shuyan? Well, that's because you're watching me on Twitch. You're the only one. Most of my viewers are actually on YouTube. I'm not gonna, force you guys to watch one over the other. That's not me. I don't even turn ads on YouTube, and certainly I'm not qualified to be a partner on Twitch. So hopefully you won't see any ads. For me, though, like I said, you guys saved me twice. Even the first time over a year ago, it was from the loss of my business, and right now you guys are saving me from the loss of, my little girl. So thank you. Good. What did you make? Well, I should start off with how are you? No worries. Just come in whenever you like. I made some noodle soup, and then with some garnishes, tofu, ground pork, onions. It's so good that even my mom asked me to make a second bowl for her. She said, "Oh yeah, that sounds good. Make me one." Really good for your tummy. And yeah, by the way, this is the exact same apron I wore during my time at my restaurant. Okay. Again, if you look closely, if you want to look a little closer, all these stains are from all the curries and sandwiches I've made. Okay, it was because it was like this, always wiping it like that. Yeah. No worries, Shuyin. I think it's just because, it's because you're the only one on Twitch. As long as you don't feel lonely, I don't mind it. But don't worry, guys. I want to grow this community. My friend did tell me what made me switch. Am I enjoying this? And I am. This is a hell of a lot better for me emotionally, mentally, if I'm just cooking and chatting with you guys, compared to if I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's, where, I'm trying to survive and it's all stressful and scream a lot. Plus, it's a lot better for my mom. Also, she doesn't have to hear me scream; just had to hear me yap. And there's that old saying, you are what you make. So, in my opinion, if you guys wanted to start streaming, it's up to you, of course. But I only want to do the things that makes me feel comfortable. Right now, I feel comfortable. I'm in my element. Chatting with you guys. As weird as that sounds, because I'm, Yeah, I agree, Banana. I got to dye. You gotta dye your hair. Well, let me know what it looks like. I did say that if I ever get to 3,000, I'll think about dyeing my hair. But the best I did is about a month and a half ago. I permed my hair. Never before have I ever lost so much hair when just pulling on it, like just like this. There's like, usually it's like 1 or 2 strand, but after the perm, it's like 4 or 5. Now I'm not going bald or anything, and maybe losing some hair is good because again, my hair is quite poofy, but it's straight. But I was getting worried when I was like pulling ones, like 6, 7 hairs, strands of hair, kept pulling it, another 5, 6 strands. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go bald. But people say that this looked good on me. I didn't like it when I first got this perm though. Because I thought I looked a bit like Jack Doherty. But this is a typical Korean haircut. Also, I'm only eating 2 meals a day. One is a big giant smoothie, green smoothie, nothing delicious about it, just pure vegetables and water and fruits. Ugh, that's my breakfast, and then this is my dinner. So that's why I don't mind eating something like with butter, because I deserve it, because I work out. Blue gray, but it's more gray. Be careful what you wish for, man. As a 34-year-old Asian, my hair has already started gray with all the stress I've been through. Originally, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I only had 1 strand. Now it's like 5 or 6. I thought it would look good because back then I thought if I had gray or white hair, it would make me look older. But with my face, it does the opposite. Because people say that I have a baby face. When I asked my friends, like, what do you think about me dyeing my hair like a bit of, let's look more mature, like white or gray? He's like, no, dude, you would look like an idiot. Yeah. I could easily eat another bowl of this, but I know I'm not supposed to. If anything, if I ever do get paid from my from real estate, the thing I'm gonna buy is probably an ice cream machine, a real proper one. Depends on what your hair color is. Black is pretty much the standard color for pretty much all Asians. And there's blonde, red, brown, brunette, excuse me. So. I used to be jealous because black hair in Asia is so common, it's pretty much the norm. You know, when I came to the US, I saw so many people with like multicolored hair, just normal hair. And then I started seeing blue hair, like green hair. I was like, Jesus, what are these colors? And I got jealous because I thought people were supposed to born were like, because when I first got here, I didn't know anything. I was like, man, I can't believe the guy has blonde hair. I've never seen that before. This is before like China was like became a superpower, okay? You were 7, you pulled a hair off your head and it was gray. Hopefully that's not your hair. A 7-year-old with gray hair is questionable at best. Maybe it was someone else's hair. If it was just 1 strand, it might be okay though. That was a good meal. Yeah, in your class and his hair like 50% gray. What the hell is up with this? Is it natural or is he just dyeing it? You guys are probably in school. It's funny thinking back about it, where if it's in high school, I don't know if it's different now, but back in high school, people were still trying to like fit in with everyone. But as you grow up, you're trying to differentiate yourself from others, you know? I mean, back then, I don't know about the generation now, but back then, people who were trying to be popular, they would wear like, I wouldn't say like Louis Vuitton, but ours was like American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister, like designer shirts or whatever. Jeans cost like $100, which is a lot of money back then. Yeah, it still is right now, but People try to wear those designer brand clothing just to try and fit in. I certainly did. I didn't have enough money but to buy Abercrombie and Fish because that was like the peak thing. But yeah, I try to fit in as well. But as the time goes by and you get a little bit more wiser, you realize that people really don't care, and you certainly don't want to fit in like that. Just through material wealth, it's not worth it. I'm not even close to being old. I mean, I'm 34. By streamer standards, that is ancient, I would say, right? Today, one of your friends asked me if there is American Eagle. Is there a Japanese Sun? I mean, it's been a very long time since I've been back in high school. I think I grew out of the phase after like 9th or 10th grade, maybe. But right now, from what I'm seeing, it's probably like Lululemon or North Face, depending on where you live. But yeah, but back then it was like I started with Old Navy and Tommy Hilfiger, and then it started to. I was like, when you're trying to move in or trying to fit in, you get to Hollister and American Eagle. I can only buy American Eagle because it was like the most affordable one. Hollister is a little bit up, and then you got Abercrombie, which is like double the price. I was never gonna pay like $120 for one jean, and back then it was like the style was like it being ripped and bleached. My parents were like, "Screw that, we're not buying that crap for you." So I'm not even close to being old. Lex, I mean, thanks for saying so, but thanks. Any tips for high school? Still got a few years of it, depending on where you are. Because if you're in Asia, I really don't have any tips because I never attended high school in Asia or in China. But I assume it's going to be very tough because China, Korea, Japan, Malaysia, it's very, very tough because you're going to be focusing all your time doing the Gaokao, or rather the entrance exam of trying to get into college. We have that in America as well, but it's nowhere near as insane as in China or in Asia. Okay, if you're in America though, your freshman year will probably be a waste of time because you're probably learning some really easy algebra, biology, and stuff. Sophomore year and junior year is probably the worst, and then depending on how far you get into senior year. So because sophomore year and junior years are your years that you need to focus on your SAT, which is our version of entrance exam, right? Or the ACT, depending on which one you want to take. However, when it comes to senior year, if you stop and take it, you're kind of late. But at the same time, once you got your score and you apply for the college you want, most likely you will not be dealing with something called student loan. You're gonna have to worry about that later. But I can tell you that I got affected by this, which is that once you get accepted into the college you want, or you applied for, hopefully you do get in, you're going to experience something called senioritis, which is basically you pretty much don't give two F's about high school anymore. When I caught it really badly because once I got into I got my acceptance letter, I pretty much just went ham, as in I skipped class, I left school early, I was sleeping in class, and I failed tests and quizzes. I mean, the lowest I've got on a quiz during that time was like a 30 on the test. And it got so bad to the point where I think it was my anatomy teacher told me, I was like, look, man, I know it's really bad for you right now because you already got in, congrats, but you need to pass this test with like a 60. In order for me to pass this class, in order for you to pass this class, I was like, oh shit. So I had to study for that one test, and I almost failed it because I got like a 68 or 67 or something like that, which is not good. My parents were pissed, obviously, but I told them there's nothing they can do because I got into the college that I want. So, fun times, yeah. But if you want some real sage advice, I would say during the summer, start going to. You probably won't do this anyway. Either get a summer job or get an internship, because I can promise you, if you're wise beyond your years, you will try and find out what kind of life you want, as in what kind of job you want. The best kind of job that people like are usually are best described as they're not really jobs for people because they enjoy going to work. whether it's analytics or being a teacher, it doesn't matter. As long as you know what path you're going to, you save a lot of time. I can say this because I regret not doing those things. But whether or not you guys listen, that's up to you. And I can guarantee you that most of you guys will not listen to that advice. That's it. In New Zealand, you have your NCEA test. If you don't pass, you need to keep retaking them until you pass. Doesn't sound too bad then. Because in China and whatever those places, if you don't pass it, you're screwed. You're really screwed. You're really screwed. Your hair is starting to go gray, which is confusing since you're barely a teen. You know what? Change your diet, Pancake. I'm guessing it's not your youth or the stress that you feel. It's mostly likely your diet. And by diet, I mean you probably right now drink a lot of energy drinks, like Red Bull or G Fuel. Don't drink that crap, and don't drink something like Prime, please. They taste awful. And I swore off coffee or alcohol, mainly due to a financial reason because I don't want to pay for them. But I'm glad I do because I don't need to rely on it. You drink a lot of Coca-Cola? A Coke is okay once in a while. I do have cravings for sodas here and there. It's usually when I want a root beer float, which is my favorite. I prefer root beer over any other drink. But that's only I only have a soda when I'm really craving a root beer float. If you don't know what that is, it's basically root beer with vanilla ice cream on top. That's it. Or I'm going out eat with a friend and I have a burger. I would never have drinks when I'm eating a pizza or a sandwich or anything. It's just water. But burger is the only thing that I would probably prefer eating with with a burger. So I would say probably I drink sodas maybe 2 handful of times a year totally. Because if you're looking at going to McDonald's, for example, there's a Big Mac and a soda. And then fries. I promise you, I'll take the fries and the calories of the burger rather than the sugar of the soda. The soda is actually way worse for you, health conscious wise, than the burger and the fries. At least those two are real food, where the other one is just purely water and a bunch of mumbo jumbo sugar and substances. Okay, it's really bad for you and bad for your teeth. I know burgers are not exactly healthy, but at least there's bread, flour, lettuce, maybe a sauce in there. Okay, and fries are just potatoes, even though they're deep fried. At least it's food. Well, it's more whenever I go out to buy some food, there's always an option. I would get Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Pepsi is, again, I know, no comment. Pepsi and Coca-Cola is fine, but I've always been either a root beer fan or maybe Sprite, mainly because Sprite doesn't stain my teeth because it's white. And but yeah, those are mainly the 2 drinks that I do. Sometimes I'll have a Dr. Pepper, whatever. But never super fruity sodas like Fanta or anything like that. I don't think they taste very good. A lot of sugar. Agreed, Banana. A lot of sugar. Not a fan of juice. I mean, I'm not a fan of juice either, but H2O. Aqua. To me, that's the best kind of drink. Believe me, as an Asian, you would think that I would promote something like boba tea. But to me, boba tea is nothing more than just a sugar... It's no different than, I mean, it's a little bit better than whatchamacallit, soda, but it's still a sugary drink. Sugar, believe it or not, you guys might not believe this, but out of all the drugs in the world, right, sugar is the most addicting. Okay, sugar. It's not cocaine, it's not marijuana or anything like that. It's sugar. So I made the point, if I want something sugar, because I do have a sugar craving, then I would eat fruits. And usually, sometimes it works, but sometimes I do need my ice cream. I do need my, apple pie or whatever. And that's fine, as long as you're eating it in moderate. It's okay. 40 ounces of water at minimum per day. Jeez. That's good for you. Good for you. The only reason the law bans things like real crack is because you could easily die from them. True. And they make you angry. I heard stories where people who smoke crack, they make it's they make people really like rage, not just like yelling, but like physical, angry. And I've always stayed away from it. Trust me. If I was doing any sort of like illegal stuff, weed or whatever, my mom will kick me out. No questions asked. She's like, I don't have a problem with that. Get yourself clean, whatever. If I was an if I was an alcoholic, she kicked me out also. She has no tolerance for it. So even though my parents are kind, they do have a limit, and that's the best kind of parents you can ask for, 7 Up? Oh, I had it, but to me it's 7 Up, Mountain Dew, and Sprite. And I just went with Sprite because it's like the easiest one to like discern, I guess. Not for any particular reason. I haven't drank 7 Up or Mountain Dew in a very, very long time. They're basically just lemon soda, lemon and sugar, sour sugar drinks, aren't they? But sometimes when I do go to like a workers, happy hour, if I want to seem sophisticated, then I'll probably have a Tom Collins, which, if you don't know what that is basically it's either vodka or gin. I can't remember. It's been so long. Mixed with lime and soda water. But if you want a cheaper version, it's basically just Sprite with gin, Sprite with vodka. That's it. I know there's like Coke with rum and all that stuff, but I'm not exactly a big Coke fan. I think it's okay, but it's not my favorite. Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pepper is good. I used to drink that a lot. Trust me. I would drink it almost every single day. That is until 6th grade when my parents just cut me off. As in, like, no more Dr. Peppers for you. It's getting expensive. And they didn't want to do any dental work on my teeth. Which is why, even to this day, people say that my best feature about me is probably my teeth. I never had braces. The only thing I use with my mouth is whitening. That's it. Just brush your teeth twice a day. Occasionally use your Listerine to rinse out whatever. And try not to eat anything that is like overly staining. Coffee, sodas, whatever. And you should be good. And certainly don't eat something like gummy worms or gummy bears, which is awful for your teeth. Again, if you guys want to eat them, that's fine. Just eat them in moderation. It's a regimen of like, it's a habit. I haven't eaten those things in a very long time. So that's why I don't really crave them anymore. But trust me, I was addicted to them once upon a time. So. Can't walk normally because stuffed my toe that hard. Can't walk around turning it. Jeez, Lex, that reminds me of the time when I had turf toe. I had it 3 times, and I still had to go to work. Jeez. Thanks, Pancake. See you later. Jeez, oof, that hurts, Lex. The only good kind of sodas I really don't like is fruity sodas like Fanta. Yeah, Fanta is like 45 grams of sugar. It's basically a quarter or 1/3 of the entire can is just sugar, which is gross if you think about it. I know, Dr. Pepper can be an acquired taste, banana. Just saying that, but it took me a while to like them. Back then, it was Sprite for me, because we had that in China. Dr. Pepper was not a thing in China. It was Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola. And then I came here, tried a bunch of stuff like my friend Zach. Well, that's not his real name. He really liked Dr. Pepper, so I started drinking more of that, and I got the taste. But everyone has their own taste. But I was just never a fan of Coca-Cola, and I guess by extension Pepsi. I don't think they taste bad. It's just it's okay. Alright guys, hopefully this is a fun little stream for you. Again, this is probably going to be for a while. I like to cook every day. I'm not so sure about playing games every day right now, because this is cheap. Where if I play a game, it's either, hopefully it's a free game, indie game, or I have to buy like a AAA game, 60, 70 bucks. I just can't spend the money right now. Well, mainly most because of the emotional stress that's inflicted upon me. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining in. And if there's any sort of improvements I can do on my stream, please let me know. You guys are welcome to ask me anything. This is what stream is about, right? Don't worry about the cooking. This is just a background noise. It's just a chatting. It's like Coming home, you chat with someone, and then you have dinner with them. That's it. All right, you guys have a